Hey everyone, my name is Jeff Marks, and I'm part of the leadership team with the Professional Ski Instructors of Canada. I'm excited to have Emily Lockwood here with us today to talk a little bit about the Selkirk College Ski Resort Operation and Management program that she's part of. I had the opportunity to meet Emily through one of our PSIC programs on the level 3, and so she's taken a couple of years off the snow to go and do the Selkirk College program. And we wanted to have her speak a little bit about it so that more people can learn about what the program's like and if they might be interested. So great to have you, Emily. Thanks for making a bit of time out
Yeah,
of your
thank you.
schedule to talk to us. And maybe let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what you brought you to the program.
So I'm originally from the UK and I came over to Canada to get my ski instructor qualification. And having done 2 winters of that, I decided I want to get a broader knowledge of the industry and stay in Canada. So I decided to do the SROAM program at Selkirk College in Nelson. It's a great program. It's a 2-year transferable diploma. So you do the 2 years and you can expand it into a degree elsewhere. And of course, it focuses on the whole ski industry and different elements of it and how they all work together. So you do like the programs such as lift maintenance and how you understand how lifts work. You also get your train the trainer for lifts. And then we do like snow safety and grooming. Then we also do courses such as marketing, in which we get to like set up our own business, so to speak, and like make the website. And then we're also doing special events where we get to run and host a special event, which we're doing at Whitewater in March called the Amazing Race. But you also do other ones away from the ski resort, such as accounting and like computer skills, which are also very key parts of the industry that you wouldn't necessarily think of. They're more the behind the scenes topics and subjects.
That's awesome. Are you allowed to divulge any secrets around the Sromazing race?
Yeah, so it's on March 21st. It's a Friday, and it's going to be obviously we're still organizing it at the moment, so details are sort of to be confirmed, but it's going to be follow an amazing race style pattern. So we're going to have lots of different games for the whole family and a wide range of people to enjoy.
That's awesome. And within all the programs that you mentioned, or all the different aspects and modules of the SROAM program, any kind of favorites or highlights for you so far that you've learned about or encountered that maybe you didn't expect would be your favorites?
Yeah, honestly, coming from a ski instructor background, I didn't have much knowledge on how things such as lifts work. So I actually found that really interesting. It was one of the first courses we did in our first semester. And I felt like that, even just doing that one course, it widened my knowledge so much about what sort of goes on and how the lifts work. They're obviously a very key part of what we do. And that's been very interesting. And I also enjoyed marketing a lot. I hadn't really had much experience in something like that. So it was nice to start something from the bottom and sort of build the knowledge up from the start.
That's great. And a lot of those programs, so your the training on lifts and lift maintenance and so on, is a lot of that done in the classroom? Are you out on site quite a bit?
Yeah, so we're very lucky at the college. We've got our own boneyard. So we've got various parts of lifts down there, and our classroom is full of parts of lifts. So we can get them out and sort of have that hands-on learning on the bits. But we also went up to Whitewater a couple times and got to go up into the top of the lifts and have a look at how everything works, like in an actual lift, which was really interesting. We also went to Doppelmayr on our field trip. So we got to sort of see where the design process begins. So seeing them from all the way from where they like design them and work out what lifts go where, all the way up to them actually being functional.
It's pretty amazing technology. Hey, I've had
Yeah,
a chance
it
to tour
really
the
is.
factory as well, and it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit, you and I have had a chance to talk a bit about, the field trip aspect, and that is a part that I know is in a fair amount of the marketing materials for the program and so on. But what are some of the kind of the coolest field trips you've been on, and maybe some of what's coming up as well that's still on your calendar?
Well, in our first semester, before the ski resorts opened, we did a trip and we went to Doppelmayr, Intermountain Testing, Big White, and Baldy Mountain Resort, which was a super good way to sort of right at the start of the program. Everybody sort of bonds, at these other places. And then just this week, actually, we've been doing our AST, our avalanche skills training, which is another really cool part of the program. And we were lucky enough to go to snowwater heli skiing and got to go in their snowcat and do a little bit of skiing and dig pits and all sorts out there. And then coming up, we have got a week-long field trip where we're going around various resorts in the Kootenays. I think we're going to Sun Peaks, Revelstoke, Kimberley, Panorama resorts in this sort of area, which will be
Wow.
really good. And we've also got a cat skiing in 2 weeks' time as well, which will be great.
So you're spending a fair amount of time on snow then even in the program.
Yeah, and then we also have day trips. Like we do class up at Whitewater a couple times, which is really good. And then we're going to like Red Resort, which is another local resort to Nelson, for a day as well.
That's awesome. So yeah, maybe even more on snow time than I had expected when we first started talking about it.
Yeah, that
That's
certainly
awesome.
surprised me as well.
Yeah, which is great because that's sort of, on the ski teaching side, it sounds like that's where your
Yeah,
interest started. So
it's
that's
and it
excellent.
also helps like those who like to learn by doing things, like not just sat in a classroom reading a textbook, like that hands-on sort of learning. That's what really appealed to me about the program as well.
Nice. Um, where are some of the other, and not where as in location, but parts of the industry? Like, is there a fairly broad selection of people around you in the program that haven't necessarily come through ski instruction, but other parts of the industry?
Yeah, definitely. We've got a couple of people who came through lifts and maintenance. And then we've got people who also didn't come from the industry as much, but came from more the hospitality side of things. So they liked skiing and the ski resort, but they worked more in like the hotels and restaurants around. I've got somebody from Park Crew. Um, yes, there's a real range of what people have done. Some people, as I said, haven't came from the industry, but have just want to get into the industry.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, any surprises in the program? Like, you came in probably expecting or having studied up a little bit on it, but anything that that you found in the courses or parts of the program that you're like, I wasn't expecting this, but this is cool.
Yeah, as sort of mentioned, the amount of time we get to spend on snow, like that's really good that they'll just be like, oh, let's go to the resort tomorrow afternoon and learn there, which is really cool.
Yeah,
Mentioned before as well, I was surprised how much I've enjoyed topics that I haven't covered before, such as lifts, and we're just starting grooming as well, which is really interesting. Um, yeah.
nice. Um, Maybe in the longer term, where do you see this program might take you? Like, is there a part of the industry that kind of has your attention? Is it still the ski instructing side with kind of the additional knowledge that you're gaining through the program, or are you kind of tending towards maybe another aspect?
I probably want to stick with the ski instructing side of things, sort of in the training or more admin side. But by doing the program, it's allowed me to have a greater comprehension of how the resort works together as a whole and how each department sort of plays a key part. And I think that's, even if you just want to stick to one department, that's a really key thing to take into the industry, is like how it all works and just that greater understanding of how a resort like functions.
That's great. Yeah. Bit of a different question. Is this what you plan to be doing while you are still back home in England? Where are you at now versus what you thought you might be doing when you first came here?
Yeah, I didn't expect to. Well, when I first did my ski instructing course, I was like, oh, it'll just be a winter. It turned into another winter, and now I'm here looking at other winters and summers. So I'm really happy where that's sort of taken me. Just really went with the flow of where I wanted to be.
Yeah, I think this industry does that to people too. Hey,
Yeah,
like I mean, that's kind of my story in a slightly different version. I got interested in ski instruction because a friend of mine got into it, and then the more I learned, the more I wanted to learn, and here I
yeah,
am now, a few decades later, having gone through quite a bit of evolution and learned a
yeah.
lot.
There's so many
Yeah,
different ways to take it and different routes to progress in, which
yeah,
is really good about it.
yeah, absolutely. Neat. Um, at the end of the program, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's a work placement semester that takes place. Can you tell us a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, so on your second year, sort of that October, November time, people start heading out on a work placement. So it's a placement you organize yourself. Obviously, the college will help you with the contacts and things like that, but you can do anything you want in the ski industry. So this year, people are doing snowmaking, grooming. There's a couple people renovating a lift as well. So people really take it in a wide range, and you just go and work for that work term for that whole winter season. And the staff do a check-in with you. They come and like visit you for the day. So that's just happened this year, as far as I'm aware. And then I think you write a little assignment at the end of it, but you're pretty much free to go and work a winter season as you would do normally, which is a really good way to get some experience like in the industry.
Yeah, that's great. And as you've gone on these different field trips, different locations, and so on, and I noticed there are a few instructors listed on the Selkirk College website. But is it primarily those instructors that take you to those areas, pardon me, and do the training, or are you encountering other, leadership and management at different ski areas?
Yeah, we have three main teachers. We got Robin, Ross, and CJ. And then the head of the hospitality, the chair of the hospitality and tourism school, Martin, he's a ski guide. So he's been doing our AST the past couple of days. It's a really good program to do if you want to meet other people. Like the Stoke for skiing in our class and snowboarding is brilliant. Everybody just wants to get out there and go have fun in the snow.
That's great. Well, totally appreciate it, Emily. Nice to catch up with you again.
Yeah, you
And
too.
yeah, good luck with the rest of your program. And keep in touch, as I'm sure we will. And yeah, enjoy the snow.
Thank you. You too.